Hey there, what's up? This is Roy Pei, and thank you for watching this episode 8 of Elevate X, turning crisis into opportunity. And times really fly so fast. I still remember the very first episode that I just done with K Chong. That was the first episode that we've done. That's early May this year. And today is coming to end of May, and we are at the eighth episode. Went through 8 speakers already, and today we have a very, very special speaker. And while we are waiting for a few more friends to come online, so I'm going to introduce a little bit first. So if you are watching live right now, you might want to put in a comment and say hi, so I know that you are live with us, and then we could bring you up and also to recognize you at the same time. And also, if you have any question for our speaker later on today, please remember to put in the comment section and we can bring up your question as well. Okay, so I'm very excited, and just a little bit of the history, how we started this Facebook Live is really to spread positivity and also to share some of the real story of how some of the entrepreneurs, friends that I know, how they are going through their day-to-day life during this circuit breaker and this COVID-19. To many, I know it is really a crisis, and they are really, some of them are really lost, and some are even, I know friends who have lost their job or even a pay cut, and businesses starts to close down. However, there are also some very unique individuals who thrive during this pandemic as well. So that's where this whole series is all about, turning crisis into opportunity. And before I begin, if you want to know a little bit of what I do as an entrepreneur, you can go to my website, roypay.com, fill in your first name and your email, and we can keep in touch over there. And without further ado, I would like to bring up our guest for today. She's none other than Huda Hamid. Hi, Huda.
Hi. Hi. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming live with us. And I know Huda especially rushing to come into this live today because she has a full day of training with a training company. And later she can tell you a little bit more about what I know is she started training from 9 till 6 today. It's a full 8 hours training. And right on the dot of 6 p.m., she rushed in and we are ready to do this live. And now we have Jonathan. Jonathan who's live with us. Thank you, Jonathan, for watching. And anyone who's watching right now, you can put in your comment below and say hi to Huda or myself, and we can bring you out. And if you have any question for Huda, please also put in the comment section. So before we start, so Huda, maybe we'll take some moment to let you introduce yourself. Yeah, and
All right.
tell us more about yourself. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, first and foremost, Roy, for calling me and making me part of Elevate X. I've known Roy for quite some time, and
Yeah.
it's such a pleasure to finally be part of something that Roy amazingly does. Okay. And
Thank you.
my name is Huda Hamid, and I am the founder of Fempreneur Secrets. And this is an online community where we empower women to start profitable businesses online. So before this, I ran my own business. So I've been running businesses since the year 2012, officially. Unofficially, we can't say, right? Okay. So I started my business as an e-commerce business first and foremost, and then later on, a lot of things happened, and I had to put a close to my e-commerce business, and that was when I got myself inspired to actually start a video production company. So this video production company started off with the main simple idea that, hey, photo booth is a trend. Why don't we just start off and do photo booth services? And then later on, we went on to serve corporate clients. We did corporate gigs, corporate works. And then later on, as we progressed, the evolution of photography, videography moved into the direction of videography. And we had that feeling that video is going to be the thing. So we started to jump on the bandwagon early. And as of today, we've served clients like Prudential, UOB Bank, and most recently also we've worked with notable organizations in the media industry, in the news industry as well. Yep. So that's my history.
Awesome. So you've been an entrepreneur for about 8 years now. So am I right to say that you jumped right into entrepreneur once after you graduate from school?
Yes, that's right. So
Okay.
I I did not graduate. So
Okay.
I'm that school dropout that didn't complete education, didn't complete my
No
degree. Yeah.
worries. No worries. Last episode, episode 7, James is another one that stopped school halfway, and he do came out. I think very similar like you, and came out to be an entrepreneur after that, right? So you never had a job in your life, right after school,
I had odd jobs, so like part-time jobs here and there. So
right?
those are just for me to build, I would say, build persistence to really understand what it's like to go out and be an employee for a short period of time. Those are the main reason why I actually work, other than starting a business or running a business. I don't really see myself working for other people. Yeah, so that's the
I
reason
see.
why I started businesses right out from dropping out of school. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Hi,
awesome, and
Melvin.
yes, hi Melvin, and that's really a brave move that you have done because you're in the uni and in our this new generation of us, and it's always our parents' wish for us to finish school, right? And maybe you want to share a little bit what's the what kind of pressure do you get back then, in terms of like making that decision to drop out from school and to start your e-commerce business.
To be honest, my parents have always been supportive with the decision that I make.
Okay.
However, that decision to drop out of school was because of a circumstance that my father had passed on, and I had
Okay.
to. I lost my mojo, as you call it. I had no
Okay.
more motivation to continue. So my mother supported me all the way, and she basically tells me that if I really want to do what I want to do, I should do things that I'm passionate about. So I took her word, I heeded her advice, and that is exactly what I did.
Wow, and then I think that's beautiful, right? Because your mom really supported you, given the circumstances, and I believe it's really a tough time during the time you have to make a tough decision as well. And
Yeah.
wow, that's really awesome. And now we have Jack, we have Hong Jing online. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being online. And if you have any question you want to ask Uda, please remember to put in your comment section below. And anyone who's online right now, don't be shy, just say hi, and we will just want to know that you're online with us. So, can you share a little bit with us also what's the first e-commerce business that you have started? And maybe
The
some of the experience that you gather from there, yeah, that help you to become who you are today as well.
Sure. The first business, the e-commerce business that I started was in handmade stationery. So handmade stationery is a very, very tiring thing to do because you do it handmade, right? Yeah.
Okay, and you
So
make every one of them.
yes, I made every single one of them,
Wow.
customized every single one of them. I put in a lot of my heart and soul into that business. So at that time, being young, a little bit
Okay.
naive, I would say that that was not the right move. However, that whole experience taught me the value of digital marketing. So at that
Mm,
time, I actually started an email list. I would go out to do, booths or sort at so many different places, flea markets, art shows, so many locations. And I will never fail to put up a clipboard in front of my store or my booth to get people to sign up to my mailing list. Now, every single passerby who comes through, who picks or touch my products, I'll say, hi, I'll explain my product. I'll tell them that, oh, this is purely handmade. You can customize it and things like that. And then later on, I'll tell them, would you like to be part of our mailing list? We will actually do Christmas promotions on a regular basis. So every Christmas, we actually have this promotion. So if you want to be on the list, you better put your name there and you be the first to know. And true enough, that strategy worked wonders. So there's 3 peak periods for my business at that time. It's Children's Day, where teachers would buy lots of gifts
stationery.
for their students, right? The second one would be right before Christmas, okay, because colleagues will start to think, okay, what can I buy for my colleague that makes me look good? And the last one is actually right before the start of an academic year. So these are the three peak period for me, and I enjoyed the whole process. I really enjoyed communicating with my clients, my customers. I built very strong relationships with them to a point where when I told them I'm no longer doing the business, they supported me and they followed me in my next business. So I would say that in terms of what this journey has like gave me lessons for is that you need to start your digital marketing effort as early as you can, and don't underestimate the power of digital marketing.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people who have spoken to me to say that it's very tough to start your digital marketing campaigns and things like that. I'll say no excuses. You can just put up a paper in front and you can already start your mailing list. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I did. And I'm pretty sure that anyone out there can do the same. Yeah.
Awesome, Huda, and I totally love that story. And myself being an entrepreneur and a marketer myself for 15 years now, I do know how important mailing list is, and I always emphasize that to all my small SME clients, to really start a mailing list. And if they don't have one, I'll really start out with them. And it's amazing how you can use that, through like flea market and this creative ideas to have clipboard and get them to fill it up, and you will type them individually into the mailing software and send out email promotion, right? So maybe another question, I'm really like so intrigued with that. So how many emails do you collect over that few years of when you're doing this?
So I collected about 400 emails during that whole
Wow.
period.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was really
Okay. And
hardcore.
exactly 400, right? And I'm sure you kind of like interact with almost every one of them. At least you spoke a couple of sentences with them, and
Yes.
maybe a quick maybe you don't have exact number, but quick estimation each time you send out an email to a 400 email list over that 3 different occasions. How much is that bump in terms of your sales as compared to your normal months?
It's been 10 years, right? So it's very
Right.
hard for me to recall.
No, about 8 years. About 8 years. So
8 years,
just a
yes.
feeling. Just a
Okay,
feeling.
but I would say the bump would be maybe about 20% increase in sales
Awesome.
because of
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, why I asked you that in specific, because I just want to give a live example for anyone, any entrepreneurs or even self-employed, or even your insurance agent or real estate agent who is watching right now, the importance of just collecting the email list and having a relationship that you have with them, be it 40, 50, 400 in your case for Huda. Um, if you do it correctly and if you do it strategically in terms of the right timing when you send out promotional email, you can increase by 20%. That's amazing, right? And 20% in this current crisis is a lot for to even like to make sure your business tie through the next month. Am I right to say that?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so maybe we jump right into the very first question and share with us about this vision that you have about Femopreneur, which is empowering women to start profitable businesses online. So what is it about? You want to tell us a bit more about it?
All right. So Fempreneur Secrets started as an idea that I have with the past, vast experience that I have. A lot of people come to me asking me questions like, how do you start? What can I do next? And all this. I felt a need for me to consolidate all this information into one location. And that was when I started my Fempreneur Secrets podcast. So that podcast was the bridge for me to be where I am today. So I started that podcast, shared a lot of knowledge, and eventually I got noticed, and I was engaged with that a company in Brunei that actually wanted me to teach on the topic of Instagram with their mass audience that they had. So that was the start of the whole journey. And when I go through all of this, I want other women to experience the same thing. So
Right.
in the essence of like why I started this business, or basically women starting profitable businesses online is so specific. This is a question I get asked a lot actually. So I choose to start this for women because when I lost my father, my mother was trying to survive, and I felt that there was a need for me to help her, to get through this difficult time. But because had a lack of knowledge on business, on running the business operations on a day-to-day business basis, she was not able to take over my late father's business. So that was the reason why, that was a trigger that I felt it's necessary for women to take on a business skills, business knowledge, because this is actually survival skills. If one day, whatever happens in your life, maybe, you lost your husband, or your parents die, and you have to be the sole breadwinner to take care of your siblings, or even to take care of your children for that matter, what can you do to make you survive right there in that instant? with whatever resources that you have at hand, when you look around your home, when you look around your house, these are the things that can inspire you to get you moving forward. And having that business skill to start profitable businesses, that is what we aim to do and what we hope to do. Specifically, why online? It's because if you don't go online right now, you're missing huge pie of
Yeah.
where people can spend on. Yeah. So this is the reason why I started my business.
Awesome, Huda, and I think you really nailed it. And just nice, Melvin had this question, and I believe you answered it beautifully with a very strong core desire and motivation behind your message and the mission they are on. And personally, after interacting with countless of entrepreneurs over the years, I strongly believe every entrepreneur who are successful, who can pass through their 5th year, their 10th year, their business, they have some very strong core desire inside them that really pushes them through all the struggles and all the obstacles and all the day-to-day challenges. And Melvin asked a beautiful question, and I believe you answered that. And we have John G, who's online, and Aisha, who's online. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrongly. And anyone who's online currently watching this can give us a thumbs up, share this video, or even just comment below and say hi. And we want to recognize you. And also, if you have any question to ask Huda personally, you can put in the comment section below, and we probably will put up your questions later on. So, so I understand you started this business not too long ago, right? About a year plus now. Am I right to say that?
Yes.
Okay, and how's business for you? Just starting till for the first year or so for you.
I would say that the first half of the business, I honestly think that I am creating a non-profit organization. So
exactly, that's what
yeah.
I have in mind as well when you first told me, right? I was like, why Huda is doing so successfully in the video business, and then she switched into this, which is something non-profit. I was like, okay, maybe she has certain motivation about it, right? So tell us more about it. Yeah.
So when I first started the business, of course, officially, I had no clue. I was really clueless on how I can actually serve and add value to the woman that I want to help. So I kept thinking about the mission, and I kept thinking about what I wanted to help. So that was the reason why, I guess, like when I speak to some of you, you all thought that I was actually creating a non-profit organization. And some of you even asked, is this a charitable organization? Can I donate? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And when I was going through that whole process of trying to come up with a way for me to add value, I realized that I've got to put what I'm good at. My knowledge, my skills, I can teach, I can speak. So I can share whatever that I have learned in the past years, put it together in a manner that not many people can deliver. So I actually have run Instagram workshop in Brunei, in Singapore, and the reason why I start off with Instagram is because it is a platform where a lot of women entrepreneurs are on. And there's so many features that they can start using to improve their business and get started. So recently, one of the students that I actually coach personally as part of my nonprofit, okay, as a start, to get experience, and also because she comes from a low income family, she started a new business on Instagram, and it was specific to what she was good at. She figured it out and things like that. I told her, now's the best time for you to do IG Live. You can just sell your products on IG Live. And she followed my instruction. She followed my recommendation. She did it. So recently, the news that I heard is that she managed to actually make enough incomes, close enough to her full-time income previously. So now being a stay-at-home mom and get to make that full-time income, I tell you, it's amazing right now. Yeah.
And especially the lockdown, right? During the circuit breaker. And then you can make money online. That's so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's always so heartening to have such story that you have, especially if you help someone. And I believe that's very strongly because when you first started this so-called ideas that you had to really, this movement, I think just now you share a little bit as in your main focus is really how can you add value to the community, especially to the women that you so feel closely knitted with, right? Because it's you are together and you feel the strong and you have a very personal, strong story behind it as well. So that's really beautiful, and I'm sure more and more will come for you starting from now and moving forward from there.
Thank you. I
So,
hope so too.
I'm sure. We'll talk more. And so maybe next question, what are your views about the circuit breaker then? After how we know COVID is first hit Singapore, say late February, early March, and the layers after layers of the implementation of circuit breakers. And now, potentially next week, we have the first phase opening up. So what's your view so far for the last 2 months?
I think this is a really good question, Roy.
Yep.
Circuit breaker, in my opinion, is that it is an opportunity for us to see growth. So if we look at the whole situation, the whole environment of how people are reacting on circuit breaker, it made us realize that there's lots of gaps that we can fill in.
Right.
So what are the common gaps that you see? You see people who are working from home. Now they see they can work from home. So who's benefiting from this work from home environment or culture? People who are functioning online, or they are serving people who function online. Like Zoom.
Right.
Oh my God, Zoom makes so much money during this period. Right?
Yeah.
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 And anyone who sells like microphone, like the microphone that comes this way with your headphones, or even a webcam, all these people make so much money during this crisis. This is going to be a surge. Now, during this whole crisis, or during this whole situation, I always look at it and always believe that whenever it's a down in the business cycle, which is now that we are facing, that will sprout mushrooms of businesses, because this is the opportunity for people to create new businesses. You will realize that now during this whole period, because people have so much time to think, there's a lot of new businesses that's definitely going to come up after this whole situation, and we'll be impressed and amazed by the creativity that people have. Yeah.
Definitely, and I'm sure it is. And you nailed it as well, because it's exactly what this series is all about. Because during a crisis, in Chinese, there's this saying called 危机. So in Chinese, that means danger and opportunity. So in the times of danger and crisis, there's always opportunity, right? So yeah, so John G has a very interesting question. Which later I'll put it up, because I think that's the question you can ask. But Jack has a very interesting question. Jack says, I also want to learn how to sell team building services via Instagram. And we have Melvin who replied him saying, Jack, you are not a female. Okay, so that's a joke. Okay, on the side. Which I'm sure Huda can teach Jack, right?
Yeah, I can teach Jack, no problem.
I'm sure you have guys in the class as well. So maybe moving forward. So for guys, anyone who's online right now, you want to say hi, you can say hi to Huda, and you're online. If you have any question, you can ask Huda in the comment section below as well. So next question for you: what are challenges you face so far during these 2 months in circuit, during the whole lockdown in circuit breaker?
So one of the greatest challenges that I face is that I actually had a booking for classes in Brunei all the way up until December. But because of this COVID situation, I cannot fly, right? And I can't fly, and they also close their borders.
Right.
So because they close their borders, I'm not able to do that. But during this whole period, I kept telling myself that I know that there will be good things that's going to come up. So I started producing my own online course about the Instagram workshop. So whatever I teach on an Instagram workshop in a 2-day class, I cramp it up into an online course. It's available for sale right now. So if you want to learn more, you can just drop me a PM. And that course itself is ready for people just like Jack, who wants to learn how to market themselves on Instagram.
Exactly.
Yes. And during this whole period of time, I managed to build a strong relationship with a training provider. And I recommended to them, your classes, definitely you can teach online. And they pushed themselves, they made it happen. So they gave some of the classes to me. It wasn't easy, of course, as a start, because both organizations and even myself, we are all trying to adapt in this situation, trying to use the tools and resources that we have at hand, and also trying to create systems or like tutorials for people who are not familiar with Zoom to use Zoom.
Exactly.
So I think during this whole period, we all rise up a lot better than we were before. Lots of creative ideas coming through, and even like for yourself, Roy, you are starting out the series during this whole circuit breaker period. So I think that's inspirational too.
Thank you so much, Huda. And you are right, exactly. And for anyone who's watching our 8th episode right now, and you've been following us faithfully for the last 7 episodes, you will notice one particular trend that all these speakers who come online is during this time, they don't really let what they cannot control affect them. In fact, they focus on what they can control. And what Huda mentioned just now was like, when her Brunei training was being cancelled, she tell herself something good must be going to happen for her, right? So and that's what it is. And you want to share a little bit what is the course that you're teaching today? You're mentioning to me, and you're just sharing just now as well.
Okay, it's about social media. So so
Okay,
it's
and
what I'm good at. Yeah.
what's the institute that you tie up with? And yeah,
Okay. I think I can say
okay,
for now
okay,
it's yeah, it's just a private arrangement.
okay,
So better not say.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's for a private group through via Zoom nowadays, right? You're doing everything through Zoom, right?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. That's wonderful. And so moving forward, so the challenges you share a little bit, but moving forward, what are the new action steps that you are thinking to take or you have taken already so far?
Regarding the business.
Yeah, of course. Regarding this fempreneur, ideas that you have, I know you put it something. You put your Instagram 2-day course online right now, and it's for
Mhm.
sale. So anyone who wants to really learn about Instagram, including myself, I also want to start doing Instagram as well. You can actually PM Huda. You can like her Facebook page, and she will definitely reply you, right? So yeah, we want to share with us a little bit or more details about what are the steps you have taken so far. Yeah.
Sure. So one of the key steps that I've taken throughout this whole circuit breaker period is actually to relook at my current strategies. So what could I possibly improve on to to get better, and what can I do more of that I'm really great at? So
Right.
podcasting was something that I started since the year 2017, and I've been interviewing so many women, so many amazing women entrepreneurs from around the world. They've shared with me a lot of things, and I felt like it's not enough to just stop there. I can add value to them and their business, and they can add value to my community as well. So that's when I created an online community called Fempreneur Circle, where we empower women to get started in business on a step-by-step basis. So this is a monthly membership community. So we're starting
Okay.
off 1st of June with branding. So we're going to teach them branding because that's the foundation of business. And
Cool.
this is exactly the pivot that we needed for our business during this whole climate change, this whole different
Awesome.
environment that we have. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I totally love that. Totally love that. And now that I'm hearing this for the first time, actually, it's been a while we catch up. And yeah, and definitely after this, I want to know more and catch up with you and potential collaboration together. Because of the
Sure.
similar direction I'm going to as well. Like what you said, it's very, so I'm having chills on my body now. So just like the last 2 months, I also regroup and re-strategizing what I'm doing. And doing this few, 9 series. We have one more series on Tuesday, right? So this 9 episode of Elevate X is also one of the way for me of exploring, like what you did podcast 2 years ago, right? So from there, you get to know a lot more about what other people are doing, and also at the same time, you're helping yourself to redirect and all this thing. And I believe I found my directions as well. So definitely going to talk.
Sure.
And John G have a very good question, John. So this is the
Mhm.
question just now I would bring up. Is there a way we can point an aspiring business woman or existing business woman to you?
Of course, you can connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram. And I'm very active on Instagram, so you can look up for me. The link is actually right above here. Okay, so you can look for Fempreneur Secrets on Instagram
Exactly.
and send me a message. Let me know about the profile of this woman, and I'll be more than happy to welcome her into our community.
Yeah. So if just in case you guys don't have Instagram, you can always Facebook her as well. I'm sure she's very active on Facebook as well.
Yep.
So awesome. And if there's any guys out there, anyone out there who have any more questions, you can ask Huda below in the comment section, or you can say hi, let us know, and we can bring up your question as well. So, Huda, in terms of yeah, so we have John G say sure. Okay, so John's gonna do that, right? So am I right to say that you only accept female? Would you consider guys who join your circle as well, or strictly just female?
I welcome anyone who believes in the feminine traits and believe that you can serve and balance that femininity in yourself and give value to people. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a woman. Okay, just like how there are women with masculine traits. Like for
Right.
me, I believe that I serve better. I If the person that I'm serving is more feminine in nature. Doesn't
Exactly.
mean that you're gay, huh? Okay, just putting it across. Okay. I know John G
I,
might think of that question.
I like that. I like that, and I like the fact that you say the more feminine part of it, right? So that's why your the background where you are at is pink, and of course I'm wearing pink. So John, maybe before we want to join, we must wear pink shirt, right, to join. So I like the part that you are talking more on the feminine aspect, the feminine energy of a person, right? So we all have both, right? Be it you're guy or girl, we both have the more feminine or the more masculine part of us. It's just that which one is more dominant, and it depends on the situation as well, right?
Yep.
So I totally love that.
Yeah, and we welcome anyone from the LGBTQ community, as long as you feel that you are serving that pride, you feel like very woman and very like feminine nature in you, and you want to support this mission. We welcome you to be involved in it. So one more thing that I actually would like to point out is that we have a 5-for-1 model. So this 5-for-1 model is our social entrepreneurship side of things, where for every five sales that comes through our programs and things like that, we'll set aside the budget equivalent to one to sponsor someone who from a less developed economy or from someone who is a low income household to start their business as well.
Awesome.
So this is something that we're working really hard on, because we want to support as many women as possible, and we don't want to create a barrier for this knowledge. Yeah.
Awesome, man. And I'm someone who strongly believes that in the next 20 years, women will rise. And we're already starting to see a lot of women rising. And one of the trend is, I'm sure, in the world, some of the political leaders are going to be a woman. We are seeing the PM for New Zealand is actually a woman as well. And we're going to see a lot more women who is becoming CEO of MNC, of big multinational companies. And when I was watching StanChart app, about 3 months ago, I saw that Standard Chartered banks actually wanted to increase the number of senior positions for women in their organization in the next 5 years or so. And we are seeing a lot more female entrepreneurs now happening as well. So guys out there, like what Melvin said, maybe we create one called hempreneur, right? I don't know how to pronounce this. Hempreneur or hempreneur, right? So yeah, possible, right, bro? Yeah. So we're probably going to do that. Yeah, and I agree, totally agree. As in, a female is up and coming, and this whole movement is definitely going to be there. Is there any last thing you want to share with us, Huda, before we just end today?
Sure. So if you want to get access to our free resources and also my free 5-day challenge for you to set quality goals that can actually help you achieve greater revenue, you can go on over to the link at the bottom over there. It's hard to pronounce. So FEMPRN. So this is my short link lah. If not, it's very long. So if the long one and you can type and you can figure it out, it's fempreneursecrets.com/vault.
Yeah, the vault must be a capital V, right? Because it's capital sensitive. Yeah, and yes, please do, anyone who's watching this replay right now or even live right now, feel free to share this video with your friends and your timeline. You know any friends as entrepreneur, even stay-at-home mom, irregardless, or even stay-at-home dad who wants to really start an online business, please share this video with them so that they can hear Huda's message. And also, please go on to her website below. You can see right now to really go on to see the 5-day goal setting challenge. And I'm sure it's going to be a treat for you. And lastly, for anyone who wants to know a little bit about entrepreneurship, about what I do as well, similar to what Huda does, you can go to my website, roypay.com, as well to join the mailing list. So with that, we don't see any more questions coming in. So I guess everybody is happy. And thank you so much, Huda, for rushing in today and to have this wonderful session with you. And I look forward to really speaking to you again. Definitely we're going to connect soon offline, and we're going to talk about how we can potentially collaborate and do a lot more things moving forward.
Sure. Thank you so much, Roy, for having me. I really appreciate your time, and I also appreciate everyone who's been here supporting us, watching live right now. So thank you so much for your time.
Exactly. So, especially for friends who has been supporting us for the last, now the total 8 episodes, thank you so much. And stay tuned for our very, very last episode on Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. We have someone who is very special, a very good friend of mine. He's in a very unique trade, and you want to join us on next Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. same time. Elevate X, turning crisis into opportunity. And stay tuned and talk to you again. Thanks, Huda, for joining us. And thank you, everyone who's online. See you. Bye.